So
Yep.
let's get into you and let's talk about what you guys asked for. You guys asked for the ingredient list and you asked for more of a breakdown. And today is for educational purposes. As you guys know, it's not intended as medical advice or a substitute for medical advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare professionals. You should not use this information for diagnosing a health or fitness problem or disease. You should always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professionals for medical advice or information on diagnosis and treatment. And I'm happy to say that we are continuing to enroll people in the patient registry. One of the meetings that I will have in Charlotte is on the patient registry because you guys are continuing to enroll people. So we're extremely excited about that. Go on to the next slide, Tiger. And the next one. We're going to talk about nutritional composition. And this is important. You guys know we just launched the genetic test. And at first, when we launched it, it did not have anything that was tied to the comp plan. Ted and Marty and Clayton and I met today on trying to get that genetic test tied to your comp plan under Root. So after this call, Patrick, if we can solidify that, that would be fantastic on what we're going to do so that we can express that to the community and put it into the newsletter. I will tell you guys that we also made a decision today on RPS. On RPS, we will drop 3 to 5 outfits a month, not clothing items, but outfits. And the RPS members will get a discount on the outfits. If we don't sell out during an RPS call on outfits, then we will bring it back into the whole Root community. But some of the items that we have, like one of them is the dress that I have on. There's only 1 or 2 of each item. So we are going to give the RPS group the opportunity first to really be able to dive into that. We're extremely excited about it. So let's start today about the products that we've had and how it's really helped grow the community that we have here today. Clean Slate is definitely our most debated product. It's the one people love the most. It's the one people get jealous of the most if they aren't in our company. It's where we get the most questions. It's where people see the most results to date. We have lots of case studies. We have lots of information. But because of how amazing this product works, we're always going to have this conflict. It's like having a beautiful person that it's extremely famous, whatever. Some people are going to like that person and some people aren't. It's like being the smartest person in the world. Some people are going to like that person, some people aren't. It's like all of us, right? And I always look at the products like they're almost like a person because they have so many characteristics. And I say this all the time, unlayering that for each product and continuing to find what makes it so amazing is important as a community and as a company. And for me as a scientist, it's my obligation to continuously bring this to you all. So looking at Clean Slate, it does support the removal of toxins. It supports a healthy liver. It gives immune system support and it supports proper enzyme function, which is so important because your enzymes and your pathways in the body cannot accept nutrients if they aren't working and if they have toxins in them. We all know the land, air, and water is toxic all over the world. It's more toxic in certain areas, but it's toxic everywhere. So getting that out of your system is essential. You really got to support the overall body. This says it has 5.58 milligrams. I think it's more like 4. We need to change that. I'll get with Tiger on that, but it's around that number. The iron is 13.17. People ask me, do people need iron? Yes, they need the good kind of iron that really helps their body. The calcium is 12.63, and then potassium is 11. The vitamin C is 14 milligrams. Magnesium is 6 milligrams. Manganese is 8.35 milligrams. Phosphorus, 9.62. Zinc, 11.09. And nitrogen, 8.48. And there are some smaller amounts of the trace minerals that are embedded in that as well. So that really gives you a breakdown. Most scientists and doctors that I know don't really understand Clean Slate. They don't understand how it's able to really work within the body because it is a unique formulation. It is able to go in and really help the body get rid of the toxins that are inside. And that's why people have had such great results. People ask me all the time, should we start with XYZ product? And my answer is, if I could have everyone start with Clean Slate, I would. I understand that we have a community now because of Sculpt and because of Crush and because of the skincare line and because of the clothing and coffee. We have some people that won't buy any of them. If you guys can mute it, that would be great. We have some people that won't start with Clean Slate, but I want to encourage you guys to keep having discussions with customers and the community on how important it is to remove the toxins. I had a discussion with Ted Baker yesterday about his wife, Jilly and Mac, his daughter, and how Clean Spirits is really helping with dreams and helping them like work through things even in their sleep. Some people have that with Clean Slate, right? Because you've really got to clean the adrenal glands, and you have to do the pineal gland as well. Your adrenal glands are all over. And the problem is when those aren't working and you're exhausted or they're toxic, then you don't have energy. You can't metabolize things. You can't get nutrients. Pineal glands, you can't think and you can't produce, and you hold on to really bad memories, and you need to get those out of your body. A lot of people don't understand that, because when you look at the physical body, it includes the emotional, mental, and spiritual component, but most doctors and most people in this world don't study that during their career. However, some do, and that's why it's so important for you guys to communicate how this particular product is so great at really cleaning those glands and enzymes and pathways out of the body so that the body can function more appropriately. Let's go on to the next slide. So Restore. Restore has a lot in it. We've talked about it before. I love Restore. It helps reduce systemic inflammation. It aids to restore the gut microbiome, which is extremely important. It boosts energy levels, promotes healthy heart function. You know, it's got black cumin seed and turmeric, and it's got resveratrol and apple cider vinegar and aloe vera. It's got these great things in it that really help with that. So when you look at it and you break it down, it has about 4 grams of carbs. It has 14.4 of the dietary fibers, 3 grams of sugar, and it is a natural sugar, and it has a total fat of 12 milligrams. People ask this all the time because they're worried about taking Restore. Restore for a lot of people is a meal replacement, or they take it along with food or first thing in the morning. It does not have a lot of calories or carbs or sugar, but it does have some. And I think it's important that you guys know that, so you can make the decision on what you want to do and what you don't want to do. This particular product has gotten a lot of attention from athletes, just like Zero In, because it helps with their energy. It helps in performance. You guys know that we have a swimmer that was able to really achieve a level of swimming he had never achieved. He's the world record breaker in long distance swimming. And he was able to do that because of Zero In, Clean Slate, and Restore. And Dr. Keshkesh talks about that a lot. What we don't talk about is we have athletes all over the world. And you know, Patrick, we should do a Root U where we just focus on all these athletes that have been using this product and case studies. I said on the last Root U, and I don't think you were here, Patrick, I want to start having ambassadors on the Instagram. So if you could help me make sure that I connect someone for tomorrow on the Instagram that can talk about today's Root U. We need to do this every week, and I don't even mind announcing it in a newsletter who's going to be on the Instagram, because I want to start trying to build what you guys have in your countries and on your social media as well. And I want us to all talk as a community about how amazing these products are. But if you're on the Instagram, we have to make sure that we make it exciting, but we also talk about the facts of what we're doing worldwide without making claims. We have to, that's why you always hear me say, I'm not claiming I cure anything. We're here to support the body's natural ability. But looking back at the nutrient composition of this, you've got all things, a lot of things in here. You do have protein at 4 milligrams. You do have sodium. You have iron at 7.4, calcium at 26, potassium, vitamin A, carotene, which is extremely important. It's a very small amount, but that's extremely important and helpful. You also have beta and alpha, so you have both of them. Riboflavin, lutein, niacin, pantothenic acid, vitamin B6, folate, vitamin C. Vitamin D is the only one that you don't have a lot of, but you guys know that you have that in the other products. Vitamin K, 1.17, and this is all natural. This is not stuff that was added to Restore. This is all stuff that's naturally in black cumin seed, naturally in resveratrol and turmeric curcumin, aloe vera, and apple cider. It's all naturally in that. You've got vitamin E at 7 milligrams, which is extremely important. Choline at 7.5 milligrams, betaine at 1.17, magnesium at 3.7, manganese at 1.75, and phosphorus at 0.10. So this is an extremely powerful formula that has a lot of vitamins packed in. It also has protein, and it's able really to support the overall body so that it can function and restore itself, especially after your detox. And I tell people this all the time. Turmeric curcumin and black cumin seed are used a lot in countries for things like parasites and fungus, and that's a hot topic for me. This product being put on something that could possibly have that in it, whether it's skin or into the body, is something that I'm extremely interested in. So if there's anyone that knows of any scientist or doctor that wants to do a study just on parasites and fungus, please let me know, because that's of a huge concern and huge, basically energetically, I'm connected to that, because I know that we're having an outbreak in those areas across the world. And I want us to be the first group that's really studying it. And I think Restore is one of the big products that really helps with that we have in our arsenal. So let's go on to the next slide. Zero in, another game changer. Zero in balances the production of dopamine and serotonin. It improves the immune response. It aids to improve recovery and physical performance, and increases focus, mental clarity and functioning, and a lot of other things, guys. Zero in is something that for my life, if I don't take it, I notice a huge difference. And I've said this before, at first it took me a while to get used to Zero in. And I really kept telling Clayton, I'm sorry, I don't love this like you do. Even though I made the product, I reserved it only for using it every once in a while. Now I use it every day. I shared this with some people. I did 3 a day for 2 days in a row when I was at the summit. I was in the best mood ever. I can say that. I was in a really good mood. It was great. But then when I got home, I went down to going back to 1 a day. If I'm extremely tired and traveling, I go to 2. And now I realize in case of an emergency, I can go to 3. And some of you guys I know, like Regina, do 4 to 5 a day and love it and feel amazing. And that's because your body needs it. So if you're feeling amazing and it's helping you, you should go up to that 4 pills a day. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, wait, go back. Sorry. I apologize. Yeah, I want to bring out a couple of other things. If you look at this breakout, which I'm not going to go through everything, it is an extremely healthy product if you look at it. It does have caffeine, but it's a caffeine adrenous. It does have small amounts of things like 0.03 of sugar, very, very small amounts. And if you ask me why, it's from the natural products like pine bark and velvet bean have very small amounts. These are herbs that are put into this product. It's not like I'm adding that to it. They're all natural. We do detox the product in the process and then have the final product, but it does have the ingredients that are in the herbs and the plants and the seeds and the roots that are put into Zero In are included. So you do have vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin E at smaller doses. You also have magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, riboflavin, thiamine, potassium, calcium, iron, all those things that really help with the serotonin and dopamine production. So just so you guys know, serotonin and dopamine production in the brain require certain nutrients, or your body doesn't fulfill that need to accept and achieve cognitive functioning release so that your body is thinking appropriately. And I think because of the natural ingredients, and I really do lean on the L-theanine, but I also on the pine bark and the velvet bean, at how they're really assisting the body in the overall functioning. All the ingredients were extremely synergetic and important, but many of you guys know I started this product really focusing on sexual health, and then realized it helped throughout the body in every area, including cognitive functioning and physical performance for athletes. This has been a game changer in the root community for so many people, and for people that aren't even in our community, but that are customers that buy it, that come back monthly. This is one of our top sellers. And I think it's safe to say that the herbs that are in, and the plants and the seeds and the plants that are in this particular product are extremely hard to find and extremely powerful when produced the way that it was produced in the lab. And I can tell you, I've worked on a lot of adaptogenics, a lot of nootropics, and this is my favorite that I've ever worked on, and my favorite that I've ever taken. And just so you guys know, I do try other brands. I want to make sure that we have the best thing possible. I tell you all the time, we can change product lines all we want, as long as they're better. So we do continue to listen to the things that you guys send us. We do continue to review things, but I think this particular product is one that we will hold on to for a very long time, if not forever. Let's go to the next slide. ReLive Greens, we all know on this call that this is something that's imperative to me because of my stomach issues I have, because in the past it was something that I felt like helped me with different issues I have, because I have had Lyme disease and I have had cancer. I can't claim this is the reason I got rid of that or that I'm better. I can tell you that it was something that made my body feel like I was doing better, and then ultimately I started doing better. So this product was dear to my heart when I first started working on it. I've worked on a lot of different grains throughout my life. And again, this is my favorite. I take this almost every day unless I'm traveling, and every once in a while I can't. And I never feel as good when I can't. So if you look at the calories, I just want to point this out. It says -1. What does that mean? These are grains that do not have calories. So I just want to point that out. When people ask me about keto and people ask me about gaining weight and weight loss, I think it's really important to point out this particular product and how it does have a lot of the vitamins and minerals that you need. It has vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin E, betaine, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, zinc. It has a lot of different things in it that are used, vitamin A, potassium, calcium, iron, a lot of stuff that's really useful for the body, that can really support the body. We do know that it probably has higher vitamin levels than what we have on this label, but we wanted to go ahead and add the ones that are here so that you guys could see it. We're going to continue to work on it. We're taking the exact amount of grains we put into each dose. So for me, I take 3 times the dose every day because of how much it helps me. So I'm getting a lot of the vitamins and minerals that I really need throughout the day in ReLive Greens, just so you guys know. So it is kind of like a multivitamin, just in a different way. Let's go to the next slide. Immune Defense Shield. Immune Defense Shield has a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin D and vitamin K, magnesium. It has a lot of things in it, though, that are really used synergetically to go into the body. So NAD on its own and quercetin on its own go into the body and really support. NAD, though, does not have and quercetin, they don't have this high level of all these vitamins. It's actually a property molecularly that goes into the body and really helps support the mitochondria of the body and the battery of the body, so that it can assist with the telomeres, reversal of aging, assist with the DNA and the repair. And I did a whole slide on this and talked about how DNA can be repaired, how you can assist with DNA and even new DNA, but it has to be through different things like aiding the body in reversing the aging properties, protecting and maintaining the integrity of the DNA, enhancing gene maintenance and protein formation, regulating blood oxygen level and blood sugar levels. When I hear people, even doctors, say to me, well, I don't understand how NAD and quercetin and all these things work, here's what I have to say to you. How they work is because the body needs certain things to synergetically go into the body to help it function more appropriately and to really be something that it should be. Our bodies were made to be this miraculous thing that we are. However, land, air, and water, our bodies are not aging and reversal of aging. It's not that complicated to be able to give your body the things you need to assist in that natural process. There's a lot of people, for example, that have come to me with fatty liver disease, whether it's due to alcoholism or not, because fatty liver disease, just like colon cancer, can have nothing to do with alcohol, nothing to do with toxins, just the fact that your body's not functioning correctly and there's abnormal cells developing. To do that, you've really got to defend your immune system. And you've really got to support your immune system so it works more effectively, so it can fight things like that. You are in a fight on the inside of your body, just like we're in a fight on the outside of our bodies to live the best life possible. So never forget that. You've got to give your body the tools it needs so it can function more appropriately during the day and during the night. Your body repairs during the night. So a lot of you guys ask me when to take these products, and you guys know I take a lot of them during the day. However, I want you guys to remember, if you're really struggling with something and you're combating something, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical, your body does repair itself at night. It's helping its body, it's helping regenerate. It's basically getting the energy it needs. So there are a lot of these things. If you haven't tried them at night, at least part of the dosing, you should try them during the evening to see if your body gets even better results because you're doing it at night. Now, I will say this, with things like Sculpt, you're really helping your body with the sugar and the carbs and protecting the body against those things when you take that product. So that's typically better to take during the day because that's when you're eating. Some people might even feel like they're hungry when they take Sculpt, because of the body really starting to function more appropriately because of the insulin and sugar levels. And we can't claim we're fixing diabetes. We can't claim we're fixing insulin levels, but the goal is to get the body to work so that it's not retaining fat, so that it's not retaining sugar and carbs, but instead it's burning them. Your body needs a certain amount of sugar. It needs a certain amount of carbs. There's a misunderstanding in society and in this world to think that you don't need any of that, but you need the right kind and you don't need too much. And that's a huge difference and a different conversation than most people have about different products. Let's go to the next slide. Give me back my youth. And no, we don't have the vegan Give Me Back My Youth out yet, but I still keep asking if we can because I do have that product done. Again, you just have to keep asking Patrick and Ted and Clayton. That way, when they tell me we have to produce it, I will. I do have one, but this one is fantastic. It has a cruelty-free program behind it. It aids to prevent bone loss. It promotes healthy hair, skin, nails, and joints, which is huge. Like, people ask me, what do I do for my hair? You should be taking Give Me Back My Youth. Promotes healthy digestion and boosts the immune system. And there you go again. Our big key is getting inflammation down in the body and boosting the immune system. That's a huge thing that we need to do for our bodies. When a house is on fire, you use water to get the fire out of the house. When our bodies are on fire, we need vitamins and minerals and nutrients to get the fire down. Inflammation is fire in the body. So we've got to get that inflammation down and support the body so it can work effectively. I say this a lot too, your joints, your nails, your skin to not hurt when you have rheumatoid arthritis or different diseases. You've got to support it if you have injuries or autoimmune disorders so that the body starts functioning more fluidly. And that does take work. It does take time. I think Give Me Back My Youth is so important, and not just because of how it supports digestion and enzymes and the immune system, but how it supports overall. Your bone loss occurs as you age, which is one of the reasons vitamin D and collagen and colostrum are so important to all of us as we age. But this product is able to deliver a lot of that. And if you look at the vitamin D and the vitamin A and the vitamin E and zinc and IgG1, IgG2, IgGA, IgGM, you're going to see all the different things in here that are really essential to help the body. There is fat in Give Me Back My Youth because it's a collagen and a colostrum, and there are some carbs. But again, your body does need fat. Your body does need carbs. Your body does need protein. Let me ask you this, Patrick. do you feel like the majority, because I know you've been into working out your whole life and you've really focused on nutrition. You were one of the people that really pushed me to do Give Me Back My Youth and Crush and different things. And I listened to you, obviously. Tell me, do you feel like people understand that they have to have carbs and protein and sugar and fats and stuff like that? Because I get a lot of messages because people will take like certain things out of my presentations and not understand that your body does need certain ingredients. If sodium, for example, is okay if it's the right kind of sodium, and we use trace minerals. I do want to make sure I'm bringing that to everyone's attention, that we're using certain things that are actually good in that space and not things that are bad. And so I guess my question to you is, do you think I'm clear on that, number one? And number two, do you think people understand that about their bodies?
I think we're clear, but it's like a myth, right? Like carbs are bad, and people need to understand that there's things like complex carbs that really help support the body. And so it's that myth of, years ago of what you were taught and how to you have to unlearn and understand that the body needs certain ingredients for it to really thrive.
Yeah. I was on the phone with actually one of our bankers this morning from South Carolina. And he was saying, Christina, I didn't realize that the pyramid, the pyramid you were taught in school on what you should eat and what you should do. It was Kellogg and Procter and Gamble and some of the companies that had a lot of wheat that did those pyramids, right? So they didn't really get into the complex carbs or what types of sugar, because it was basically based on, here, give your child this cereal, right? Because we're selling this cereal, and it was reflecting on their label. I think the big opportunity for Root to educate customers is the fact that there are, even if you look at heavy metals, for example, I'll take fluoride. Fluoride is bad for you, but there's certain types of fluoride that aren't. If they're cleaned and detoxified, they can actually do positive things for the body. The problem is the fluoride in toothpaste, that's not what you're getting, right? And the fluoride you see listed in almost every ingredient, that's not what you're getting. You're getting something that's toxic for you. So same with mercury. So I think it's a complex conversation that you can't have over an hour discussion, but I do want this group to understand that we understand that here, and we're trying our best to make sure we're explaining it so you guys can explain to the customers. We also want to make sure that we're putting some of this, like I said, on the website so that you can direct people to it if you guys think it's needed. When you do labeling, we don't typically put the vitamins and like IgGA, IgGM, all of that on the label unless it's added. Sometimes we're able to capture that and do that, but usually we're not. And the reason for that is because there is a variation depending on what grape you got for resveratrol, right? What did you source? What spirulina did you source? Where was it from? So it's not an exact science. If you put in a vitamin C, it's more of an exact science. And then I always clean that vitamin C, because you want to make sure that you're not getting something toxic, because some vitamin C and absorbic acid can be negative for the body, right? I'm just going to be honest with you guys. And so it's a longer process with what we do with the silica to make sure that we're ensuring that it's safe to give people and it's safe for them to take long term. So anyway, let's go to, thank you for helping me, Patrick. Let's go to the next slide. Natural barrier support. So this is strict vitamins, microemulsions. We have vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc. It does support skin and wound healing, reduces inflammatory response. And by the way, every single bottle we had that we showed should have shown reduces inflammatory response. We just don't want to keep saying the same thing on everything, but every product I work on is with an emphasis of reducing the fire in the body, reducing inflammation, and then supporting the immune system. Every single product that I've worked on, there is a goal of doing that, and they do. Their goal and their support of that is what we're aiming for every time we take these products. We just don't have it on every single bottle. But if we need to go back and do that, we will. And while we're here, let's talk about the bottle. So the bottle, we did a type of plastic which we found that was not supposed to leach when we started this process. But then we went into the amber bottles because it's more protective, it's healthier. The glass, the amber is much better. So we are and have improved the packaging. In the middle of this process, I started looking at algae packaging. And it's a new type of plastic that's actually algae plastic that I'm looking at improving even more. But again, what we use is continuously being updated so that we deliver the best packaging, best products possible to you all. I feel like our natural barrier support is, if not the best, one of the best vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc blends. You'll see a lot of them because when you go to the store, those are for viruses and colds, right? To really support the body in that process. We know during the pandemic, this is one of the things that all the countries wrote about that were helping patients that suffered. So we came out with this one, and this one has been detoxified, and the vitamins and the minerals are very, very good. It's a very strong formula. People ask me all the time if they can put it in tea. Yes, but I would prefer not boiling water. It's okay if it's hot, but not boiling. Everything's okay if you put it into something that's cold. If you're going to cook, I would cook things first and then put it in, like your salad dressings. We have a formula in the Cure the Causes cookbook, which has natural berry support in the salad dressing, and that's fantastic. But you just want to make sure that you're tasting it because, again, you guys are the artists here. You're the cooks here. You're the chefs. So when you use these products to cook, just make sure that you're not taking all of the benefits out. And what I mean by that is you want to try not to boil it while you're cooking. When you store these products, I've said this before, I want to say it again, you need to store them in a cool and not damp space. So the refrigerator is fine, or a cabinet. You do not want to store these products out in the heat. You don't want them damp. You want to keep the powders dry. So putting them in like a dark cabinet, like behind me, we have cabinets. Let's see if I can, like that cabinet is good. Also put it in the refrigerator is something you can do as well. With Restore, you can freeze it. People have keep asking me that. Yes, you can. You can have your kids take it like a popsicle. And that's something that a lot of people are doing as well. Let's go on to the next slide. By the way, I want everyone to know another thing. Because of the packaging, so every country has a label law, regulatory law of how much vitamin C, how much vitamin D, how much vitamin K you can have, etc. It was not that big of a difference until the pandemic. And then they started lowering the amount of vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K. I mean, I was kind of blown away by it, to be honest, because you can still get IVs with 2,000, right? 2,000. And instead milligrams, instead we're limited to a smaller amount, which means you can take more of that product. We just can't put in the dosing label for you to take more. It's like I take 3 times ReLive. It's not bad for me. We just have to follow label guidelines, and every country's different. Countries have these regulatory guidelines, but you own your body. So ultimately, you make decisions on your body. You just have to make sure you're making the best and safest decision possible. So when you look at Sculpt, it reduces excess glucose caloric absorption, suppresses appetite, aids to reduce and regulate glucose levels, assist in healthy weight loss. Sometimes that weight loss happens very slowly. Again, it assists in this. When you start losing weight, though, and you start working out and you gain muscle, muscle weighs more than fat. So sometimes you look better, you feel better, but you may not lose rapidly a lot of weight. Some people, like Stephanie Folse in my office, she has lost a lot of weight. And there's a lot of you guys out there. And I've asked for case studies. I want you guys standing up at the end of this call. I'd like to have someone talk about a positive reaction they've had with Sculpt. I'd love to have someone on my Instagram, Patrick, on Tuesday or tomorrow that would talk about that as well, because that would be fantastic to have someone who had tried Sculpt. Are we in stock with Sculpt, by the way?
It's arriving in certain parts of the world this week. So once it arrives everywhere, we'll release it again and everyone will have it and we'll open it up.
So currently, can people order Sculpt?
In certain countries, Australia, you're able to, UK, you're able to, Germany is out, Canada's out, and the US is out right now.
Okay, so has anyone on this call gotten the new Reno? Can we see a show of hands, Patrick, if anyone's gotten Reno? Okay, so Patrick, on the
Yeah, I
Instagram,
see people are putting in the
yeah,
chat that
on the
already,
on the
and Claire
Instagram,
got hers in Canada, a bunch of
perfect.
people in Germany.
So let's do Sculpt next week on my Instagram, so we can get a volunteer this week that can talk about it next week. Patrick, that would be great. This week, let's make sure that we talk about Reno, because I want to be able to talk about that because we are in stock in Reno, correct? Okay. All right.
Yes.
And then I also want to get one person that is going to talk about zero in. That'll be the following week. So we can just start stacking. Every time we have a call, guys, I'd like to have one of you guys on there. So it's not just me or me and Clayton or me and Patrick, so that you guys can really talk about how people can find you all and how you guys can talk about the product. So let's go back to Sculpt. So I've had lots of people say they love Sculpt. I've had people say they don't notice a huge difference. The biggest comment I get personally is that they feel like they sleep better and they have more energy during the day, which does not shock me because of how it's regulating and assisting the body in different areas. That's something that does not shock me at all. But if you look at basically this product, it's again less than 1 calorie, 0.85, so less than 1 of carbs, dietary fiber, sugar, very low, total fat. The fat's coming from the vines that are needed in order to really assist the body with losing weight. Because I think I told you guys I sourced different vines and that are only available in certain countries. Buy them. I'll give you an example. In Germany, you can't go to a store and buy all these ingredients. We do have the polyunsaturated and the mono unsaturated and the saturated fat. The protein, sodium, iron, again, very low, but you have some. You do have calcium and potassium, the niacin, choline, magnesium, phosphorus, and selenium. But this particular product, again, is kind of like immune defense shield. It's not there as a total vitamin mineral support, right? It's there targeting the body so it can basically block certain types of sugar and help with the insulin levels and carbs. It's assisting the body so that it can be regulated in these areas so that the metabolism goes up and the body is burning fat. That's the goal of this particular product. And everybody's body is going to handle this a little bit differently. And their body's going to adjust, just like every product we have, because everybody's DNA is different and it takes time for some people to change. And I'll give you another example on this. And I know people probably get tired of this, but this is the reality. When you go to redo a house or to build a house, your contractor can say, this is going to take me 6 months to build this house. The truth is, every time you build a house, you run into different things that can impact the time it takes. Your body's the same way. Everybody's body has these blockades, these good and these bad points, and you're rebuilding it when you're taking certain nutrients and nutraceutical supplements and pharmaceuticals. You're really trying to alter the body. That's what biohacking is. And for us at the Root Brands, for me particularly, when I've worked on products, I want them to be as natural as possible and to help the body as much as possible. But that means sometimes it's not a fast gain. It's a longer term play, kind of like with clean spirits. You start with 1 drop, and some people never go past 1 drop because they're reliving all these different things. And I hear all these different comments about their dreams. Every product is going to react differently with every person. So please remember that when you're trying these products, don't give up. If you told me 6 months from now that Sculpt didn't help you, then we'd have a different conversation. But if you're trying a product, some people are going to notice results in a week or 2, like me. And then some people, it's going to take a while to notice that difference. So I really want to make sure that I'm pointing that out so that everyone can understand how this product works differently with different people. Let's go to the next slide. Crush. I really credit this product to all my business partners that wanted this product. So this was a peptide amino acid product. It has a lot of things in it that have a breakdown of vitamins, dietary fiber. You have very low calories in this as well. It's a very strong omega formula. It's a very strong tyrosine, L-leucine, L-isodeine, L-valine, L-theanine, cysteine. I could go on and on, right? All the things you guys kept asking for, you were asking for the omegas, you were asking for the peptides, and asking for really support of the body were important because you have to regulate glucose levels. You have to help the body with weight loss and with building muscle and suppressing appetite, as well as reducing excess glucose. I don't feel like our labeling on this is really fantastic. I feel like from a marketing perspective, we need to talk more, Patrick, about how we're trying to, increase muscle, increase the ability for the body to really change so that it can go back to looking like it looked when it was 18. And I'm not saying you guys need to be 18 or 20 or 25, but taking a product that can really help you look the best you can look if you're in a bathing suit or you're in clothing or if you're with your significant other. It matters how you look, it matters how you feel. This particular product and Sculpt for me are about those two things, how you feel and how you look. And when I say how you feel, how your body feels inside and outside, and how you look inside and outside the body. You want to support the body to really be the best it can be. And these two products are game changers. So if you guys have not tried Crush, I would love for people to try this product along with Sculpt. If you do not or cannot take Sculpt, then try Crush without it, because I think this is a fantastic product. This is another one that we've had issues with selling out and really making sure we have enough of this product. So we're doubling down, like I said previously, with manufacturing to make sure that we have this so that we don't keep running out. And I do want to have testimonials on this. So go on to the next slide. TetraSOD. So let's talk about TetraSOD. So TetraSOD is an ingredient that I basically broke apart, but we were able to utilize it in the original ingredient. I did that because I wanted to have the case study information and the registry and research information on it. However, the two ingredients that are in TetraSOD, I think I told the whole group, we took it, then we redid the entire formula. So I really just wanted the ability to talk about all the different coenzymes and DHA and different ingredients that are in that, because it's so important. So if you look at this is a complete breakdown of those two key ingredients that were from TetraSOD that I took a utilization process to clean it and then to really perfect it. And if you can look at this, you see all the amazing things like we need beta carotene and baryon. We need different types of DHA and other sequencing, because that impacts our basically genetics. It impacts our immune system, and it really supports us overall. And I did want to make sure that you guys saw this so that you could see what you're taking and part of the reason that you're seeing a major difference in what you're doing. Again, TetraSOD is not, we are taking that off the label because I used the two ingredients and then cleaned it. But this is from the TetraSOD research, which shows how it does impact the body and assist the body from an omega and amino perspective, as well as from a nutrient, mineral, and vitamin perspective. And DHA and all of those different things are conversations we should have in depth, but we don't have time today, so we'll do it later. Next slide. And guys, just so you know, those key ingredients you just saw in that are used in Reno and they're used in Crush. So your skin, one of the things about Reno, and you'll notice the new formula, but your skin does adapt. And one of the reasons I think Reno has had such fantastic results is because of all of the key ingredients that are inside of it. All right, so I think we're at the end.